style. Now we're going to do the character style. So you might remember that character styles are applied only to, say, individual words within a paragraph style, or or like maybe an entire sentence, but they are kind of styles within styles. And so we're say you want a certain word to be italicized or bolded or underlined, or a color, or another font, anything you want to change or update or make fancy or do something to, this is where you add a character style. So I'm going to do a character style for the word plastic. So I'm just going to copy this, and I'm actually going to do this thing called find change in order to do the character style. So I could just scroll through this entire document and try to find the word plastic, which would be kind of very challenging. But what InDesign allows us to do, which is quite interesting, is do a find change, just like we do in other applications. But I can do a find change for the word plastic and get rid of, or plastic. Plastics, let's do plastic and plastics, plural, later. And then I also want to change it. I want to keep it to the word plastics. Maybe I'll just do an lowercase and see what happens. Make sure, I don't know if it's case sensitive. But then I want to change the format. So I want to find the word plastics and actually change it and make a character style, or change it and make it a color. So I'm going to make it, you can make it anything you want. I don't have any swatches set up yet, but what if you did, you could change it to a certain color, or we can do that in a second. But what is kind of cool about this is that you can see this change format here at the bottom. So you can either check this little icon here or just kind of click in the field. Both kind of work the same. And so what it does is that this pop-up. So this changes the format. So I'm going to change the word plastic to a different style. So you can see here that I'm going to just go through. I'm actually just going to make it, let's make it a bold font. So let's, I'm going to use Avenir, and I'm going to make it bold, and that's, or maybe black. And you'll see when hopefully I've done this right. So when I go OK, and then I go find next, there it is, and then I'm going to change and find. Yeah, change and find. If I go change all, it will go through it and change all of the instances of the word plastic and make it bold. You might have noticed when I did that, I did not do basically much. I didn't change the size. I didn't go through any of this stuff. All I did was change it to, I mean, if I change it to another font family, you can kind of see what happens when you do that. Change all. And there is, now it is a Times New Roman. I want to go back to make it a Avenir bold. But you notice that I didn't actually change the size. So it's not changing the size. It's just, all it's doing is changing those instances of plastic and changing it to a black weight font. So when I go OK and just go change all, it's finding it 15 times. Voila. Now I'm going to go through it and actually do the singular version of it as well, just in case, yeah, because there's 30 placements of that. So, you know, I can change this. I can change the color. Now I don't, like I said, have any swatches set up, but if I did, I can, you know, I can even make a tint of this right now, and then you'll see what happens. Because I didn't do the plural version of it, it's actually not changing that one with plastic. So I'm just going to control Z and change. Just delete that because I've done it already. So when I just say OK, it changed it. It's all throughout there. So the word plastic is now just a darker, heavier weighted word. Now, like I said, you can do anything you absolutely want to it. You didn't actually make the style there. You could alternatively have done a fine change. You could first have made a style, so you could have made a character style, said maybe just bold. And what I like about doing it this way is that you can choose Avenir and you can make it black. And if you do it that way, if you first make a character style called bold, and then if I do say I'm just going to do a fine change, for something else, so you can see, I'll just do the word and then change it to the word and then when I do change format setting here, that style, because I've already made it, is available to me. So when I go bold, what's kind of nice about doing it that way is if I press OK and go change all, I can now that I've done it, I don't want to change it now. So for instance, I want to change it to a color. It's going to automatically update it. Now, the way doing the fine change and then doing the character format within the fine change window, I don't have that capability, right? It's not updating the character style if once of the word plastic here, because it's not actually technically not a saved character style. So sometimes it's better to first do the character style in the window here and then do a fine change. So you have the capability of being able to modify it or change it later. I'm just going to do Control Z a couple times, and then just to kind of get rid of that. I don't want that pink font showing up. But sometimes it's nice also to do a character style for have it all set up, because for instance, if I just have any font here, I'll just do Minion Pro, and then if I just do bold, you'll notice that it automatically updates it to any font. So it's just able to, and didn't actually, even if I do a completely different size, you'll notice that, actually I'll do that here first, Control. So even if I have it a 50-point Minion Pro, and I apply the bold style to it, it doesn't actually change the size, it just changes the weight, because I didn't say within, or I didn't program within the character style the size. Now if I made it a different size here, it will do a right click, apply, it will change it to that particular size. But because previously I hadn't stated a size for it, it's just going to change any font or any instance I want to Avenir Black, regardless of the size. So that is a very, very handy function of the character styles, and we can use them throughout our text for within any type of paragraph style, and it won't actually change the size. It will keep it the same size as the paragraph style, but just make it a bold weight, which is super, super handy sometimes. Okay, let's do, in the next video, let's do all of all of the text for the front here, so we can have create a bit more nuance and a bit more fun on the front cover.